easy from Eddie Hernandez.
I'll get right on with this. We've got a lot of matches tonight, and I'm not going to take any more time than I have to. But I do want to say this, because we are 1 week from myself versus Yun-Son Park one last time. There is so much history between the two of us, as you know, and how much we fought, how I can't even come up with the right word, but just how devastating emotionally it was for both of us when we went through our no DQ match during the Stormchaser tournament, when I attacked him, when I saw him disappear and never got to talk to him. And it was only weeks later that I finally got to say how sorry I was for everything that happened between us. I've apologized so many times to him in public and 1,000 more times when the cameras were off. And it all led up to this point. It got us here. We, as the Academy, would never be here without him. And the fact that the two of us, whose names are so inextricably linked with the GAW Academy, with Stormchaser, with what's going on right now, him more so than me, of course. But the history of matches between guys who have had influence. Talk about Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan, The Rock and John Cena. I don't think I can deliver a match like some of those, but I know why it's important that I try. I heard Dakota Kai say on Friday that if we deserved respect, we'd be working on Storm. Look, you can believe what you want, but I know for damn sure if your mind is open, someone on the GAW Academy has earned your respect, and it's probably Yun-Son Park. So this match, one last time, this is important because at the end of the day, it's a celebration of the progress this entire company has made. You didn't even know what the GAW Academy was a year ago, and now our names are in the mouth of the world champion, and our talent are some of the best in the world. Next week, Yun-Son Park and I will celebrate our history and your future. And I want nothing more than for all of you to celebrate with us.
My turn.
What a treat it is to hear from Eddie Hernandez. Wow, and we know that he'll be main eventing tonight's show. One more week until Stormchaser Sydney. And hello, folks. This is GAW Academy Stormchaser. I hope you are having a fantastic day wherever you may be. And I hope that it's about to get a little better. Because not only do we have a stacked show for you tonight, we, of course, have GAW Academy Stormchaser coming up on March 15th. And this man, Kurt Andrews, he'll be there in Sydney, Australia, fighting for the GAW Academy title. Kurt Andrews is on the run of a lifetime. He is one of the most dangerous men in the Academy, and a man who has his entire sights set on being GAW Academy champion. He's taking on Stefford Drummond tonight, and let's see what Kurt Andrews can deliver ahead of his title match. Stefford Drummond, of course, famous for taking Eddie Hernandez to his absolute limit during the Stormchaser tournament. We'll see if Kurt Andrews can withstand the offense of OSHA's least favorite son. Now, Andrews and Hernandez fight very differently. Hernandez is kind of like that football team that always has to come from behind. You know, he doesn't have an overwhelming offensive strategy, and he's kind of, I don't want to say passive, but he's definitely less aggressive in his matches, and so he's willing to soak up a lot of punishment, and that's exactly what Stefford Drummond did. Really punished Eddie Hernandez, but of course Chopper came back to win, and in doing so, he won the entire Stormchaser tournament. Hernandez was handed his first loss in months by Kurt Andrews. Andrews now baits Stefford Drummond in, failed mutiny. Andrews levels Stefford Drummond, and the Buccaneer definitely on top. Andrews' offensive style, incredibly high-paced. He gets on top real early, and now Stefford Drummond comes flying in with an elbow. So that's going to be the strategy for Andrews. The question is, how will the world champion Garrett Gibson deal with that strategy? Andrews sends him right over, but Drummond, quick thinking on his feet, up to the top, and Drummond drops the axe right on top of Kurt Andrews. Stefford Drummond now back in this thing. It looked like Andrews might have made short work of OSHA's least favorite son, but Drummond now hoists him up. Drummond gonna keep him up there. Stefford Drummond letting Andrews know life's not fair. Stefford Drummond knows that all too well. But what would be fair to Drummond is to pick up a win after everything he's done, and he might just do it here against the Buccaneer. Hoists him up, and I think he was looking for the get a job, but Andrews right out of the way. And now Andrews with a backslide driver transitions into a high stack cover. No. Stefford Drummond emphatically powers out of it, but Kurt Andrews, I think he was prepared for Drummond to get out of that hold. Andrews double underhooks locked in. Andrews hoists him up. Eye of the Storm, right in the middle of the ring. No way to reach the ropes from here from Stefford Drummond, and Kurt Andrews has another win. Garrett Gibson is here, and you know that the Lone Star was watching this one. Garrett Gibson has been a wrestler his entire life. There is almost no one as smart and as experienced as the Lone Star, and he knows when he's watching a man that he needs to take seriously, and Kurt Andrews is a man you have to take seriously. He's held championships in multiple underground promotions. During the Stormchaser tournament, he famously was a double champion while competing in the Stormchaser tournament. He is one of the hardest working men in the business, and he has himself a championship match coming up next week at GAW Academy Stormchaser Sydney. Folks, we've got a stacked show coming up for you tonight. Coming up next, midnight, the man with the best record in GAW takes on former champion Scott Danielson. The Women's Academy champion Lazara got her match at Stormchaser Sydney confirmed with Yamamoto last week. She's taking on Suzuki, and of course in our main event, Yunsan Park teams with Eddie Hernandez to take on Tonga and a mystery partner after Overload got suspended by Commissioner Jason Parker on Dark last week. And I'm just hearing now Kurt Andrews backstage. He's got something to say. What you just saw out there was a champion a week out before his title match. Garrett Gibson may hold the belt, but if it's not wrapped around a champion, what does the belt mean? It means about as much as the belt I have around my waist right now. Did you ever wonder why on our website the GAW Academy doesn't have a championship history? Or wonder why Garrett isn't holding the title belt in his picture? It's because the belt is a worthless piece of metal and leather when the Lone Star has it. Garrett, there is nothing lone about you. You're an above-average wrestler and a below-average champion. There are thousands of wrestlers around the world that share your company, but none of them share mine. As a champion, there is no equal. I've held gold all over the world, and now it's your turn to come face to face with a Buccaneer who would burn every ship, steal every pound, and dump every sailor into the abyss to get the belt you disrespect every day. It's time to respect us once again. Well, it's of course no surprise to see that Caitlin Dunlap beating Katana backstage. Once again, it's become kind of an expected occurrence on GAW television here. And I've been told that already Jason Parker has been alerted to what's going on, and he is absolutely furious. So maybe we'll hear from him a little bit later about what he's going to do about Caitlin Dunlap. Of course, Parker, if you watched Dark last week, Jason Parker, for the first time since he was made commissioner, suspended a wrestler, suspended Overload, after he caught Overload trying to sneak into the building during Lars Nightfall's match. So he suspended Overload for 2 weeks. It means that Overload will not be able to make his main event match tonight, where he was supposed to team with Tonga. So that's a whole mystery that we gotta wait for. Speaking of mystery, it's a mystery why I didn't talk about Scott Danielson the whole time he was making his entrance. Well, we've seen Scott Danielson a whole lot, and here's another guy that we've seen a whole lot of, and that is Midnight, the man who currently holds the best record in GAW. It was actually, his 4-0 record was just equalized by Walter, the #1 contender for Aleister Black's World Championship. We'll see him fight the Dutch Destroyer at Bash at the Beach in a few months. If you missed the last Friday's Friday Night Storm, go watch it. We announced Bash at the Beach. It is going to be an amazing event. We'll have several GAW Academy matches on that card as well. Maybe Midnight will feature in one. He certainly showed that he has the ability to fight with the best of them. This is quite a match for Scott Danielson, a way to really put himself back on the map. Former Academy champion, the man who lost the belt to Garrett Gibson. And now Danielson drops the elbow, and a pretty cocky cover right there. Midnight, it's an easy kick out. And we just heard Kurt Andrews, really a really scathing review of Garrett Gibson as champion. One which I don't entirely agree with, if I'm being honest. But, I think there's tensions run high around here, mostly because of the idea that, rolling Death Valley driver from Midnight. The fact that, there is so much pride among wrestlers in the Academy, and there is this feeling like there isn't a whole lot of respect. You heard Eddie Hernandez reference Dakota Kai's statements. Let's real quick take a look at what Dakota Kai said in the last episode of Friday Night Storm that's been making the rounds. I heard Lazara say people who come to work on Fridays don't respect her in the Academy. And she's right. If she deserved respect, she would have come to work on Wednesdays last year, and she would be here on Fridays now. Yeah, talk about something I don't entirely agree with. I would not say that Dakota Kai is correct in her assessment. But now Midnight, clothesline over the top, Midnight lining up Danielson, and Midnight with a tope con hilo. Wow. Wow, Midnight. Guy is strong, he is technically sound, he's a great athlete. This is everything you want out of a professional wrestler. The only thing that has derailed him in his career is injuries. You can see it on his shoulder. It's why he wears that brace. And now Midnight beautifully transitions into a dragon sleeper, and Midnight chokes the life out of Scott Danielson. The dream state is where he put the former Academy champion. Midnight, for the first time in his GAW career, doesn't use the sleepwalker to get himself a win. But oh yeah, this guy has the dream state dragon sleeper, and he can put you to sleep. Look at this, it's a beautiful transition. Danielson was trying to get his way out of it. Midnight fools you into believing that it's a back waist lock, but he transitions you into a dragon sleeper, a standing dragon sleeper, and so the pressure is just on your neck and back. Absolutely brutal. Midnight advances to 5-0, once again holds the best record in the company. And Midnight has informed us that he has a major announcement to make at GAW Academy Stormchaser Sydney. and you will not want to miss that. It's not the only thing that you won't want to miss at Stormchaser Sydney. Of course, we will also be unveiling the first ever GAW Academy Tag Team Power Rankings. So make sure you stick around for that, and obviously everything else that we have going on that card. One last announcement. We've said so much that the GAW Academy, there's so much pride here. Well, for the first time ever, a member of the GAW Academy will fight a member of GAW Friday Night Storm, or make that 2 members. Yes, we have a special GAW Dark happening on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, and we have a very special match to main event it. Lazara and Yamamoto team up to take on Team Kick, Dakota Kai and Tegan Knox. For the first time ever, Academy prospects will fight GAW Friday Night Storm wrestlers. What an incredible night it's going to be. Make sure that you are here St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, so you can watch it. If you've said it once, I've said it 100 times. Suzuki has got to be so disappointed with her start in the GAW Academy, but at least in the case of Lazara, this is an opponent that Suzuki is very familiar with. Thunderbolt fought Lazara for the GAW Academy Women's Champion before the Stormchaser tournament began. Lazara, of course, came out on top, but at least Suzuki knows what she's getting into right now against Lazara. I'll tell you someone who may not know what he's getting into. We haven't heard from Jackal or La Tortuga Roja in a couple weeks now. Jackal was absolutely clear that he wanted to hurt Roja, and Roja has been silent on the matter. Well, to round out the card at Stormchaser Sydney, it'll be Jackal versus Roja, no disqualification. So we will have a winner, and both men are allowed to use the tactics that Jackal has apparently become very familiar with over the last several months. Lazara successfully defended her championship against Caitlin Dunlap last week on Stormchaser, so it's official. It'll be Lazara versus Yamamoto for the GAW Academy Women's Championship at Stormchaser Sydney. Lazara, of course, the student of Lita, the greatest champion this company has ever known. She is going to be prepared for that, you can be sure, and we'll get just a taste tonight against Suzuki. I want to bring up this article. It was an interview conducted with PWI, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, with Lazara, and there was a question about how Lazara said that she mentally was not in the right state of mind during the Stormchaser tournament, and this is part of her response. I'm reading a quote here. The reality is, I truly was happy during the Stormchaser tournament. So happy, in fact, that the only reason I started feeling doubt was because I was going to have to leave. It's immature, looking back at it, to think I would have been forced to leave the academy if I had one, but that's the way my mind was working at the time. So once it all ended, that fear of no longer being happy disappeared. I was raised to never be ungrateful for the blessings I've received, and I'm not going to start now. I'm back. Well, there's no doubt that Lazara certainly seems to be in a better state of mind right now than she was during the Stormchaser tournament. I mean, that being said, she still got all the way to the finals of that tournament, fell just short to Catherine Sakamoto, another woman who has been involved in this championship picture. Obviously, she will not be in the match in Sydney, but she's been very clear that she has a win over both Yamamoto and Lazara, so she deserves to fight for the championship. I can't exactly say that I can argue with that. Wins do mean something here in GAW Academy, here in GAW in general. And of course, we'll learn exactly what they mean when we get the first ever tag team power rankings coming up at Stormchaser Sydney. Suzuki with a beautiful go behind and a slam. Third generation mixed martial artist, second generation professional wrestler. Suzuki takes a whole lot of pride in her legacy, where she came from, as she should. And it's, of course, no better encapsulated than in her cross arm breaker finisher called, fittingly, Legacy. And I think she's trying to soften up the arm of Lazara for that very hold. Lazara, of course, brings in the Make My Fortune, a dangerous move that Caitlin Dunlap did kick out of in their match. So it is possible to kick out of that, but Lazara knows that. It doesn't affect her very much. Suzuki with a nice back body drop, and this really for Suzuki is just an opportunity to say that she deserves an opportunity at the Academy Championship. Lazara, beautiful suplex into a cross-arm breaker of her own. Suzuki knows exactly how she's going to transition out of it, but Lazara, oh, she was one step ahead of her. Grounded hammerlock from the women's champion, and now she grabs the other arm. This will make it very difficult for Suzuki to lock in the Legacy. Lazara knows exactly what she's doing, and that goes with what we were talking about earlier when it comes to her mental state, where she's at right now. Absolutely. Lazara is fighting as well as she ever has. Pele kick. Suzuki right back up. Lazara right back on top, and now Lazara drives her down where I've been. And she's going to use more than that to beat Thunderbolt right now. Lazara looking for Make My Fortune. Suzuki counters with a lariat. Lazara almost finished things right then and there. Suzuki has done her homework, but Lazara comes right back. Suzuki absolutely knew what was coming, and now Lazara again, where I've been. Drives down Thunderbolt and a cover here. No! Suzuki explodes off the mat to break that cover. Lazara needs more than that to put down the third generation mixed martial artist, and she's gonna do it right now. Make My Fortune, no! Lariat from Suzuki. Lazara staggers to her feet, and Suzuki comes back, hits her with a lariat. Lazara comes back in, and a second one, and now boot, caught by Suzuki, and a nice takedown. Lazara just cannot lock in that final move. And now Suzuki looking for a powerbomb, and Lazara absolutely throws her right over the top. Oh, big strike. Staggered Suzuki, and now Lazara once again, where I've been. And another cover. It's the third one of the match for Lazara, and no! Suzuki somehow kicks out. Wow. This is a great showing right now from Suzuki, showing us all why she was one of the favorites in the Stormchaser tournament early on. But Lazara, Make My Fortune. Third attempt, and she hits it, and Lazara is heading to Sydney with a win. Stares right into the face of all of you fans, all of us, but I think there was only one woman that she was thinking about during that cover, and that was Yamamoto, her challenger at Stormchaser Sydney. What a match, and Suzuki really showing us why she has earned so much respect, why she was considered a favorite for the Stormchaser tournament. Wow, Lazara, that is a statement right there. We gotta go backstage right now. I told you that Jason Parker was incensed by the actions of Caitlin Dunlap, and he is in the office right now, and he's gonna address it. Look, I've had to deal with so many toxic situations. I'm getting fitted for a hazmat suit as we speak. I've created matches, I've banned people from buildings, I've suspended people and threatened to dock their pay. But somehow, Caitlin Dunlap feels she can walk around here trying to injure my talent because she got beat fairly in a match. Well, I've had enough of it. If Katana is stuck in the States rehabbing while we're all on vacation down under, then Caitlin will be too. She's not allowed to come to Australia, and when we get back 2 weeks from now, it'll be Caitlin Dunlap versus Katana in a steel cage. After that match, no matter what happens, if Dunlap so much as spits in Katana's direction, I'll suspend her for 3 months. Now let's get to the main event. I'm glad someone's taking charge of this situation between Caitlin Dunlap and Katana, and it's absolutely right for Jason Parker to deny Caitlin a vacation down under in Sydney. I'm telling you right now, so this is obviously happening on a Monday night. Well, late Monday night and early Tuesday morning, almost the entire roster of the GAW Academy is heading over to Sydney, with the only exceptions being those that are scheduled to fight on GAW Dark. They will head over on Wednesday night or Thursday morning. But it's like a vacation for the whole roster, and it should be. It is a massive event, and now Caitlin Dunlap doesn't get to go, and that is absolutely what she deserves for what she's put Katana through. Right now, we've got our main event, Tonga heading out to the ring, and until last Wednesday on Dark, he thought he was teaming with Overload to face Hernandez and Park, but now we don't know who this guy's teaming with. We're about to find out. If you are not a watcher of GAW Dark, you may not recognize Max Ultimate, but this is a fairly new acquisition by GAW, former Ringling Brothers and Barnum & Bailey circus performer. Yes, you heard me right. He was an acrobat in the circus before coming over to professional wrestling. Go check out last Wednesday's episode of GAW Dark, and you can see a whole profile on him and his journey to becoming a professional wrestler and ending up here in the GAW Academy. And he was absolutely not expecting to make his way here to Academy Stormchaser this quickly, but you seize on the opportunity, and that's exactly what Max Ultimate has done. You want to talk about a guy seizing on an opportunity? Eddie Hernandez. Maybe one of the biggest seized opportunities ever, taking the GAW Academy from an academy, a training school, and a one-off tournament to now what we see before us here. Stormchaser, a weekly show, all of it that Eddie Hernandez did for this place. And he'll be the first to tell you it wasn't just him, but he doesn't give himself enough credit. We would not be here today without Eddie Hernandez, that's for damn sure. And a man we would also not be here today without, Yun-Son Park. We're going to see on Stormchaser Sydney, we're going to see an in-depth look at Park's legacy in the GAW Academy and why he is so respected the way that he is. But you can just tell, I mean, even without knowing his history, you listen to him speak and you see the way that he fights, and you can just tell that he's got something special, and he's got that connection. You can really see yourself in a lot of ways in Yun-Son Park, what he does and how well spoken he is and how much pride he takes in the sport that he participates in. There's a lot that everyone can learn from Yun-Son Park, and Eddie Hernandez has learned a lot, as he says, and so have I. Hernandez and Park will face off at Stormchaser Sydney, and they're in the main event here. Tonga and Hernandez to start things off here, and Tonga showcasing his strength early on. Wow. What just came out of his, you know what? I don't want to know. I actually don't want to know. There's a lot that we don't know about the giant 400-pound Hungarian, and I don't really care to learn right now. Triumvirate of lariats, and Yun-Son Park takes the opportunity. He'll get the tag in as Hernandez still stunned in the corner. Park, an absolutely brutal knife edge chop. I want to talk about Max Ultimate here. A guy who made his debut. Oh my God! Therapy session from Tonga, the Bronco Buster, and it's called a therapy session because frankly that's what you need after he's done. Oh my God, Yun-Son Park, that's just not the right place for him to be, and now Tonga sends him into the corner. Park able to fight out of it right now. Yun-Son Park doing what he can. Oh my God, Park with a dragon suplex. He couldn't even barely get his arms underneath Tonga. Wow. Hey, Max Ultimate tagging in. I want to talk about Max Ultimate's situation, but first, we got to go backstage. Academy champion Garrett Gibson. Oh, wait a minute. Yunsan Park trying to end things right now. His legs are tied up in the rope. Ultimate kicks out. Garrett Gibson's backstage. He's responding to Kurt Andrews. We got to hear this right now.
I know I have the reputation of being a soft-spoken Southern boy. Kurt Andrews thinks thousands of people share my company, and he's right. I have the backing of all of my people. I'm done listening to this man question me as a wrestler and as a champion. I put my heart and soul into what I do. That's how I was raised. So for Andrews to call that into question, I'm not going to tolerate it. There's a legacy in Southern wrestling, a lineage I'm proud to be a part of. There's no way Andrews can understand what a legacy means or what it means to have the expectations of an entire culture like exists in my state. When you don't understand that, you'll never understand what it takes to be a champion on this stage. I recognize everything Kurt Andrews has done, but all the titles he's won means about as much to me as a trapped leg means to a coyote. Look, you've all heard the coyotes chew their own legs out if they get caught in a trap. It ain't true. It'll just kill you if you get too close. And that's something we got in common.
Some very strong words from the Academy champion, and Ultimate taken down by the discus knee strike of Eddie Hernandez, and a cover here from Hernandez, and Tonga just in time to break things up. Yunsan Park looking for a big back suplex. Tonga out of the way, and now Tonga, he's gonna make Park regret that. Tonga has him up into the neck pain, the gory special. Yunsan Park, he was only locked in a few seconds, but still absolutely brutal. Like I said, I want to talk about Max Ultimate here, because Ultimate, you think about where he's from, his situation. You know, he debuts a couple weeks ago on Dark, and he's thinking, you know what? I'm raw. I'm untested. The Stormchaser debut probably not coming for a couple months. Or look at this, Eddie Hernandez with a speakeasy. I wanted to talk about Max Ultimate. Eddie Hernandez not going to let that happen. Hernandez into the cover, and Tonga again fast enough to break it up. Yunsan Park just slid into the ring in time, and Park drops Tonga with a dead drop brain buster. So from Ultimate's perspective, he's probably not expecting his debut on Stormchaser to happen anytime soon. And now here he is, not only debuting in the main event, but fighting against Eddie Hernandez and Yunsan Park, two men who in a lot of ways really created the hallowed ground on which Ultimate now stands. And here he is fighting them and doing it well. I mean, he is really showing a lot for himself right now. This is speaking very highly, his performance is speaking very highly of Max Ultimate and how good he is, how talented he is. He's got an 0-2 record right now after 2 singles losses, but don't let that fool you. He's untested, but just like Queen Alexia at Nitro 10, we talked about how good she was and how she just needed polishing, and that's exactly where Ultimate's at. And when you look at Queen Alexia, how well she's doing for herself, you can see that that level of experience, it helped. And Ultimate going for a backflip elbow. Hernandez just shoves him down, and Hernandez with a clothesline right to the back of the head. Hernandez winds up with a punch. And you can tell that the difference between Hernandez and Park and Ultimate is really just experience and ring IQ. It really has nothing to do with talent. Ultimate is as talented as they come. Strike caught by Hernandez. Ultimate may have been looking to set up the max damage, but Hernandez, he did his homework, even with Ultimate being new, and Ultimate dives around Hernandez to make a cover, or to make a tag, I should say. But Tonga absolutely stunned by Hernandez as he comes in. Hernandez hangs onto the top rope. Tonga going for a strike, caught by Hernandez. And now Hernandez off the ropes. Oh, with like a reverse drop kick there. I've never seen that before. Came off the ropes with a drop kick, but he was facing the ground. Normally, you have your back to the ground. That was very impressive. Tonga, uppercut, next strike, caught by Hernandez, stuns him into the corner. And Hernandez places Tonga up top. Uh-oh. This is devastating for anyone, but for a 400-pounder, someone do the math. Superplex off the top and narrowly missing Max Ultimate, who was getting to his feet. And now Ultimate saw what was happening. Quick thinking by the young man. Hurricane Rana and both men are stunned. Wow. Ultimate, you can see just those little flashes. That ring IQ. It's not developed yet the way that you would expect. And Hernandez going to confront him. Hernandez, what a strike. And now Hernandez, Hernandez pulling Ultimate back into the ring the hard way. And now turns his attention to Tonga. Tonga out of the way of that strike. Irish whip in, but there's no Max Ultimate. Tonga goes in for a splash. Hernandez out of the way. And now Hernandez, lariat caught into a stun gun. Hernandez did not take kindly to Max Ultimate getting involved on the outside, and he went straight for him. That is the fire of Eddie Hernandez. We've all come to love him for it. But remember, at one time, that fire was used for evil. It was used to attack Yun-Son Park, nearly put him in the hospital. The story of the relationship between Park and Hernandez, I mean, they could make 30 for 30s about it. Now Tonga after the claw, right to the shoulder, going for a cover and a kick out. Ultimate absolutely stunned by the rope-assisted suplex, and Hernandez just pulled out, and Tonga with a DDT. You know, Tonga's pretty athletic for a man his size. I gotta give him credit. Ultimate now back to his feet, and Tonga with a huge strike. Tonga and Ultimate may finally have the advantage now after Tonga just using his size, but Eddie Hernandez fighting out of that corner, and now Hernandez whips him in. Park is there, but Hernandez comes in with an elbow and an enziguri. Yun-Son Park loving it. These two are friends. Friends that will be clashing in the main event of Stormchaser Sydney. It's going to be a match to remember, and Hernandez trying to dive in to make the tag to Park, but Park comes flying in. He cleared the entire ring. That is the athleticism of Yun-Son Park, and answering in kind for Max Ultimate's actions earlier. Hernandez and Tonga both down again as we approach the 10-minute mark. Both men crawling, Tonga crawling to his own corner. We'll see if he makes the tag into Ultimate. It's Hernandez first onto his feet. Ultimate just watching, and Tonga, that size just overwhelming, but now Hernandez sends him into the corner, and again, same combination, elbow into the enziguri. Hernandez has got to think about getting a tag out for himself right now. He's been in the match for a long time. Yun-Son Park's got to be fresh at this point. Tonga flying in and almost made contact with Max Ultimate there as Hernandez dodged. And now Hernandez with a spear to the back. Tonga trying to crawl over to make a tag. Hernandez very smartly stops that from happening, and a running knee strike. Wow, he delivers it so brutally. And now Hernandez going up top. Yun-Son Park, he might be seeing this sooner rather than later. Speak easy from Eddie Hernandez. Or that was the drive-by. And Hernandez hooks the giant tree trunk of a leg, but Max Ultimate breaks up the cover. And now Park and Hernandez, but Ultimate fights them both off. Lariat ducked, but Park turns right around. Ultimate forced to roll out, and now for the third time, both Tonga and Hernandez were stunned. Hernandez whips him back in, and Hernandez for a third time with that combination. The tag's gotta come, you would think. Hernandez has been in this match a long time. Tonga lifts him up, back into his corner. I don't know if Tonga knows that Ultimate's not there anymore, but he knows now. Hernandez with a rising knee strike and a kick. That's some flexibility to get your foot up to the height of Tonga's head. Hernandez whips him into the corner, and again, Hernandez with this combination. He is working on the head and neck of Tonga, and now Hernandez drags him over. Hernandez going for the cover, and Hernandez hooks his legs up onto the ropes, and Tonga powers out. I think Hernandez and Park are kind of frustrated with the way that this match has gone. Tonga fights out of the corner. Now Tonga whips Eddie Hernandez back in. And Tonga makes a tag. Here comes Max Ultimate. Let's see what they got in mind. It is a double back body drop, and with Tonga's height, Hernandez is falling from a long way off. Hernandez out of the way of that stomp. Ultimate was trying to stop him from making the tag, and now Hernandez, I think he does need to make the tag right now. You can tell, I mean, the fans, they love Park and Hernandez. So Max Ultimate, generally a fan favorite wherever he goes because of his story and where he's been. And now Ultimate, wow. Beautiful head scissors takedown. When you're fighting against Park and Hernandez, pretty much nobody's going to be a fan favorite. Outside of those two, Max Ultimate comes diving in with a huge drop kick, and I think the heel of his boot caught Eddie Hernandez right above the bridge of the nose. Now Ultimate with a butterfly suplex. Like I said, Ultimate has shown out beautifully for himself, and now a cover, and Eddie Hernandez kicks out. Park leveled by Tonga and rolls to the other side of the ring, goes Park, but Ultimate too quick for Hernandez. Nice double leg takedown, and it's Ultimate now. Ultimate locks Park into the Buzz Killer. Only had it in for a second. The referee broke things up very quickly, but he was wrenching back on the neck of Yun-Son Park, and now Ultimate into the corner looking for that backflip elbow, but Hernandez just too strong. Hernandez hoists him up looking for a power bomb, but Ultimate rolls through. Sunset flip in. Referee a little slow to make the count. Maybe he was dealing with Tonga. Hernandez in trouble, and no. Ultimate trying to steal one from one of the icons of the GAW Academy, and now here's Ultimate. He's got the hand. Ultimate Escalera, Hurricane Rana. The athleticism from Max Ultimate is unbelievable, and with 6 minutes left, Hernandez kicks out. Max Ultimate, this is what you call a big match specialist. And now Eddie Hernandez, he's about done with this. Hernandez drives him down, a reference to Kenny Omega's one-winged angel, but Max Ultimate kicks out. No one delivers the one-winged angel quite like Kenny Omega. Just like Yun-Son Park's DDT, often imitated, never duplicated, and Hernandez comes flying in with a knee strike. Max Ultimate now busted open, much like Hernandez, but here comes Hernandez from the top rope, speakeasy. It has ended so many matches before, and it most likely will end this one. Leg trap, but Tonga breaks things up. Yun-Son Park looking for a back suplex, but Tonga lands right on him. And now Eddie Hernandez, he's wasting no time. Park rolls out of the ring. Tonga's back there as well, fighting with Park, speakeasy. Park and Tonga are going at it, but Eddie Hernandez hits a second speakeasy. Leg hooked, Hernandez has won it. Eddie Hernandez has won. Tonga gave up his partner to fight Yun-Son Park, and the respect shown between these men. They will battle at Stormchaser Sydney. What a match that promises to be, and you can tell how much respect between these two men there really is. We gotta talk about this match, folks. Yun-Son Park, Eddie Hernandez, one last time. And when we say one last time, it means that it's gotta be settled. The better of these two icons, we will find out. And how will we do that? Best 2 out of 3 falls. The main event of Stormchaser Sydney will be a match unlike any other, and you will not want to miss it. So make sure you join us next Monday for GAW Academy Stormchaser Sydney. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We can't wait to see you next week. Check out the website, check out the Spotify, the Discord. If you don't know by now, well, watch Stormchaser Sydney next week. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.